We're going to turn our attention to another trial in a final pretrial hearing, which was held earlier this morning for a defendant by the name of Penny McGee.
Yeah, she made a big decision today. She's facing manslaughter charges in the death of her ex-husband, Andrew Savitz. And at that hearing, the judge heard motions from the Commonwealth and defense to exclude certain testimony, including statements that McGee made to police in the hours after her arrest. Now, her manslaughter trial is expected to begin tomorrow, and she decided that it is a bench trial, meaning the judge is going to decide her fate. So let's take a closer look back at how we got here in this case. A prominent Massachusetts mother, Penelope "Penny" McGee, is facing manslaughter charges in the death of her ex-husband, Andrew Savitz, 5 years ago. Savitz made a name for himself during the 1988 presidential campaign of former Massachusetts Governor Michael Dukakis and worked as an environmental consultant. He was also the author of a sustainability book for business, The Triple Bottom Line. Court documents say McGee went to her ex's home after 10 p.m. on January 28th of 2020. McGee was reportedly upset by an email she got from her ex-husband's brother, evicting her from the home she'd been living in for years. She told police Savitz attacked her. But the couple's 18-year-old daughter heard the commotion and heard her father asking McGee to leave. That's when the daughter called 911, and while on the phone, she saw her mother slapping and pushing Savitz and him falling to the floor. The autopsy concluded that Savitz, who did have health issues, died from cardiac dysrhythmia following an altercation.
Interesting. This is a case that, there's not a lot there. This is going to be, no matter what, this is going to be an interesting case. Let's watch a little bit, because we're still waiting for West Virginia to get up and running. A little bit of this morning where Penny McGee says, I don't want a jury. Judge, you're the one that's going to decide my fate. Let's watch.
All right, Ms. McGee, please stand, please. So I see that you have filed a waiver of a jury trial and that we will be going forward on a jury waive trial. So I have to ask you some questions. Could you tell me your full name, please?
Penelope McGee.
How old are you, Ms. McGee?
I'm 58 years old.
How far have you gone in school?
Graduate degree.
In the last 24 hours, have you had any drugs or alcohol that might affect your judgment here today?
No, Your Honor.
Are you aware of any mental illness that you might have or that you've suffered from in the past?
Yes.
Do you have a diagnosis?
Major depressive disorder.
Okay, do you take medication for that disorder?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
When was the last time that you took that medication?
This morning.
Does the fact that you took that medication make it a little bit easier for you to deal with what's going on here today?
Yes, it does.
Does that medication prohibit your ability to understand and appreciate everything that's going on? Or are you able to fully understand what's going on here today?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm able to fully understand.
Okay, and you understand that your case is scheduled for a jury trial for tomorrow?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Now, you have a right to have a trial by jury. A jury in this case would be 12 people chosen at random from the community, and with your lawyer, you could help select that jury. You could challenge any 6 witnesses for no reason at all, challenge any juror for good cause, and the burden of proof is on the Commonwealth to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt and to a moral certainty, and the jury's verdict must be unanimous. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
You also have the right to have a judge hear your case. A judge would listen to the evidence, determine what the facts are, apply the law to those facts to see whether or not the Commonwealth has met that burden. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
You also have a constitutional right of confrontation where during the trial, you or your lawyer could cross-examine the witnesses before you. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
And you have a right not to testify on your own behalf, and the jury or the judge would not be able to hold that against you in any way. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Now, I'm sure you've discussed your right to trial with Mr. Tipton and all of your constitutional rights, and it's important that you listen to his advice. However, your decision as to whether you try this case with a judge or a jury is entirely your decision. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
And what is your decision? Do you want to try this case with a judge, alone, or a jury?
I would like to try my case with the judge only.
Okay. All right, thank you. I find that Ms. McGee has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to a jury trial. Now you can have a seat.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so that maybe changes a couple of the motions in limine. If you've had some time to work these out, well, first of all, the motion to sequester is allowed.
May I just address that briefly?
Oh, yes, okay.
The Commonwealth would request that the victim's family be removed from the sequestration order after they have testified.
Is there an objection to that, Mr. Tipton?
Also, Your Honor, the defense would like his expert to be permitted to watch the medical examiner, Dr. Rebecca Diedrich's testimony, and the Commonwealth would also like Dr. Diedrich to be permitted to watch Dr. Banerjee's testimony.
Okay, that makes sense. Is there any objection to that?
That's
Okay.
it. So that's paper number 105. And we anticipate calling the family early in the case.
Okay.
Okay, well, you know, this
Something
case
looks
just
familiar.
got a lot more interesting. Judge Bev Cannone from Karen Reed is going to be deciding this.
It's major,
case,
and not
'cause
just
there's no jury.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing a bigger shot of that courtroom. I can't tell if that's the same one that Karen
I
Reed
saw
was
the
in.
fan.
I know that they opted in the Karen Reed case to be in a smaller courtroom, so that may not be the exact same one. But yeah, Judge Beverly Cannone herself.
Yeah, I
will
feel
be
like
one.
that's the courtroom where they did all the pretrial stuff until the defense wanted Reed trial moved. But wow, we're heading back. We don't have to wait for Karen Reed too. We can. We're going to get a little dose of it coming up here with the. And it's a fascinating case, this McGee case, for sure.
She'll be handling a manslaughter case, so a little bit of a similarity to actually, especially with the domestic issue of this being between two partners and a question of whether or not it was self-defense. It'd be interesting to see how she rules and how she does without a jury there.
I'm assuming Trooper Proctor wasn't involved in the investigation on this one.
2020 is
we'll
when this
find out.
happened, not sure.